Recording
Yeah,
has started.
hi everybody. Today I'm doing,
Hi Deepak. Hi everybody. Welcome to CDU's Invited Talk for the full quarter of 2025. Today we have a very special guest from Microsoft. Deepak will be here to share with everybody his expertise and talk a little bit more about AI agents, which is a very hot topic nowadays. Deepak, if you may.
and thank you. So good evening everybody. So today I'm going to give a session on the rise of agents or AI agents. So how agents are transforming from automation to intelligence. So about me, I am working as a senior software engineer at Microsoft. So I'm an artificial engineer and machine learning solution architect and technology enthusiast. And currently, I am driving a digital transformation initiatives in a Power Platform team at Microsoft, where we are building a lot of AI agents using a Microsoft Copilot Studio and agent frameworks, and then MCP servers. And I have done BTech in computer science and engineering from India, and I have around 24 years of experience in the IT industry. So today we are going to cover what are AI agents, the idea behind AI agents, what are the components of AI agents and anatomy of AI agents, how autonomy versus autonomous or how AI agents differ from autonomy, then how we can build agents, what's the difference between AI agents and agentic AI,
Hello, Harrison.
and
Hi,
then,
Deepak.
hi. And then we'll be trying to build agents using a N8 and LangChain. And then we'll discuss how means we are building agents in Microsoft and then future of AI agents and the finally question and answers. So before starting with the AI agents, so I will share some buzzwords which are going around for a long time. So first one is artificial intelligence, which is the umbrella term we use for making a human intelligence or means equivalent to a human intelligence where we can build different type of solutions. Then there is a subset of artificial intelligence which is called machine learning, which is used to, which is
I think Deepak went on mute.
so Miss. I
Deepak,
was
I
not
think
aware, Miss, when I was mute, so I was keep on talking. Hello.
we should be able to hear you now.
Okay, so Miss, I will start from a start then. Miss, I was keep on speaking. So today I'm going to give a session on a rise of agents, which is transforming from automation to intelligence. And I'm a senior software engineer in Microsoft, where I'm a artificial intelligence and machine learning solution architect. I am currently driving our digital transformation initiatives in the Power Platform team at Microsoft, where we are building a lot of AI agents using Microsoft Copilot Studio and then MCP servers. And I have done BTech in computer science and engineering in 2001. And I have a total of 24 years of experience in the IT industry. So today we are going to cover what are AI agents, the idea behind AI agents, then anatomy and components of AI agents, how autonomy play a role in AI agents, then how we can build agents, difference between AI agent and agentic AI, then how we can build agents using the N8 and LangChain, what type of agents we use in Microsoft, future of AI agents, and then finally question and answers. So before starting with the AI agent, I would like to share some of the buzzwords which are going around for a long time now. So first one is artificial intelligence. So it's an umbrella term used for any system which is mimicking a human intelligence. And then there's another term which is a subset of AI which is used to learn different patterns using our data, that's called machine learning. And then there's another subset called deep learning also. And then we have another term called model or a large language models or a LLMs, which is a trained artifact which is used to make predictions, or it is also used to generate different type of contents like audio, video, or image, or any code you want to generate. So it's used to generate different type of contents. Then we come up across with the new terms in 2025, which is called AI agents. So it's an autonomous system that is using a different type of models and tools to complete different tasks and achieve some goals. Then Google come with that term, Anthropic come with that term called MCP, Model Context Protocol, which is a design pattern which will be used to come up with the server which can be hosted into any IDE, and then you can use that particular server from your local system. And then Google come with the term called agent-to-agent protocol, which is used for if you want to have a different agents and you want to communicate across these agents. So they have defined a communication mechanism which you can use to connect these different type of agents. So now from automation to intelligence, means this is a long journey, which started from 2000 to 2005 when we were having a task automation, which means we were doing a automation to do our repetitive tasks. So there were a lot of tools available. For example, from Microsoft, we have a Power Automate or a Flows, which we use to automate different type of repetitive tasks. And then we were having a lot of binary systems also, which we used to automate tasks earlier. And then from 2006 to 2012, we come with the tree-based or rule-based chatbots. So those were again automated, having a conditional logic, but those were having a chatbots which we used to communicate with the customers. And then we come up with the conversational assistant. So these were the new system which was developed in 2013 to 2018, where you can conversate with that assistant, which means it's not simply a chat, but here you can have a proper conversation where you can use a natural language interfaces. And then you can chat with any type of assistant. That can be an audio assistant, that can be a video assistant also, that can be any text-based assistant also. And then from 2019 to 22, uh, Microsoft come up with the AI co-pilots, which were the partners or assistants which were used to talk to different AI systems, and you can do any human-based work through those co-pilots. So our team was the first team who developed the first co-pilot, which was called AI Builder from a Microsoft Power Platform team, which was used to develop Power Apps from AI. So we were creating apps from image, which can be a Figma image or any handwritten image. We were creating an app from a PDF, from a Excel sheet, different sources. So we were able to create a complete app, complete backend and frontend using these co-pilots. And then from 2023, when ChatGPT came in picture from till today, means now we have autonomous multi-agent systems. These are autonomous, these are multi-agent, and these are multi-model also, and multilingual also, where you can have a self-organizing or self-autonomous agents where you can collaborate and you can solve any complex problem through these autonomous agents. So now we are witnessing a very paradigm shift from a rigid automation to adaptive and context-aware goal-driven autonomous systems. And these goal-driven autonomous systems are nothing but AI agents. Okay. So in the AI agents, you can define your goal, you can define your content, you can define your intent, you can define your context, and then you can make a decisions. You can define your goal also, and then these agents keep on learning from experience. So which means from through a feedback loop, they keep on learning and they keep on evolving. So why this matters now? Why we require AI agents? So according to Bill Gates, means agents are smarter. They are proactive. They're capable of making suggestions before you ask for them. Okay. So now we are evolving from having an assistant to partners. Earlier we were having a co-pilots which were assistants. Now we have a co-pilot as a partners, and these co-pilots are nothing. These are AI agents. So you can now plan, you can suggest, and then you can act through these agents. So what is an AI agent? So AI agent is an autonomous system. So that's very important to understand. Means it's an autonomous system, which means it can decide what type of activity it has to perform. So it observes your environment. Environment can be any system, that can be your audio visual tools, or those can be an API system, or those can be a database system also. So it observes your environment, it plans intelligently, it takes actions based on the goals you have defined, and then it learns over time. So these four components are very important for being an agent. So any system that can reason, that can provide a reasoning through which you can plan and take actions based on the information you have given or based on the goals you have given, that's an agent or AI agent. Okay. So you can manage workflows also through our agents, and you can use any external tools, and you can adapt to a things or the information or the any activity changes. So agents, you can consider it as a digital employee, which you're employing to do some activities. And that particular digital employee can think also, it can observe also, it can take actions also, it can remember the things also, and then it will achieve a particular goal. So it will behave like a human. So you can consider it as a, for example, there is a HR assistant, which is a human, and then now you have HR agents, which can do all those activities which HR assistant can perform. So to being an agent, you should be having an autonomous system in place, and that autonomous system can plan, reason, and make decisions. So that's very important. It should be having a planning component. It should be having a reasoning component. It can take decisions of its own. Then it can chain multiple function calls, which means you will be having different tools which will be doing performing tools for performing different functions, and then you can call those functions through these particular agents. Okay. And then there should be some system where you can maintain a memory, or you can maintain a state also across a session. Okay. That memory can be a short-term memory, or that can be a long-term memory that can persist in any database also. Or you can have a state management system which maintains the state across a session. Okay. You can use different tools, you can use different APIs or models to complete any goal you want to achieve through an agent. So it will not be just any answer or question type of or question or answer type of a chatbot where you're giving some question and then it's responding to an answer using a LLM. It will be achieving a particular goal. So in AI agent, we often implement a loop called observe, think, and then act. So it's the same way, means we have to plan, we have to reason. So we have a loop called observe, think, and act, which is very important for our agents to work on a particular goal. So what's the idea behind AI agent? So in a AI agent means we require perception, means we want to observe our environment. That environment can be through a visual, through a camera, through a text, or through a audio, or through different sessions, or through a APIs, or through a database. So that can be any multimodal fusion system or environment through which you want to perceive. And then you should be able to persist that particular information either in a memory, or you can get a idea or a cognition from a knowledge base. That knowledge base can be any internal knowledge base or external knowledge base. That can be a web search also. And based on that particular memory or a state, and then based on the knowledge base you have, you should be able to take a decisions also. Okay. And then you should be having a monitoring also available, through which you can monitor the particular goal has been achieved or not, you should be having a feedback loop also available. Based on that, you can take actions. So based on this particular idea, so every agent will be having a component which will perceive your environment through a data API or a sensors. It will be having a reasoning component which can, based on that particular reasoning, it can take a decisions or actions. And then it will be acting through our tools. So tools will be actual functions which it will be performing to achieve a particular goal. Okay. And that tool will help you to change a state from a one state to a, so the transition will be happening from a one state to another state, and which we can maintain in a memory or can be maintaining in a any state environment. And then we want to learn from the results. So whatever results will be given by our tools, so you want to learn from that particular results, whether that you can assess the results, whether a particular goal has been achieved or not. You can give a feedback, and based on that particular feedback, that system will be adapting. So we already covered this. We require a perception layer, then we require a reasoning layer, then there should be a planning layer and action layer, and then finally there will be a feedback layer or a reflection layer. So coming to components of a AI agent, so the main component of a AI agent is a brain or it's a LLM, the large language model. So you can use any model. So based on a particular agent framework you are using, there will be a different models it will be supporting. So you require LLM, which will be making the decisions, which will be observing the environment, which will be planning, and which will be then taking a decision. So it will be taking a decision using the tools. So tools will be other component which we require. And then you can attach your internal knowledge base or external knowledge base. Those can be any documents or a SharePoint website or any database you want to use for a knowledge base. And then it will be having a memory that can be a long term or short term. Okay. That LLM will be doing the observation and planning. So LLM will be responsible for doing everything. So it will take decisions of its own. So based on an input it's getting from a customer or from a user, it will decide which particular tool it has to call, and it will go through a complete plan, observe, and act life cycle, and then it will be giving a final output to a user. So we have a different type of tools which we can use. One tool can be which will be retrieving a data or context. That can be means a tool which will be implementing a RAG, and it will be either searching a web or pulling information from some local documents using a RAG. Okay. Second tool can be taking action. So it will be doing some action. So it can be sending an email or reading your calendar or scheduling an appointment on a calendar or updating a database. Okay. And third type of tools are orchestration, which means they will be a planner agents or they will be a planning tools which will plan uh, which particular agent it has to call, or whether it has to trigger a workflow or it has to chain across different agents. So chaining and workflows means are very important means when we are dealing with the agents. So we have different design patterns also available based on a chaining. So we have a chain of thoughts also. So agent pattern which we can use when we are implementing our tools. So let's go through some scenarios to understand whether those scenarios belongs to an AI agent or not. So you have a LLM, which is ChatGPT 4, and then you have a one question, and then LLM is providing you an answer based on that particular question. So you will be asking, okay, how many leaves I have left this year? So LLM will be providing an answer based on leaves you have left. So it may be going to some HR database to retrieve that particular information and giving back an answer to you. Okay. So that information can be in some PDF documents or can be in some HR database. So it will give you answer, okay, you have 7 leaves left in this particular year. Okay. So this is simply scenario where means LLM is used as a question and answer machine only. Okay. And then you have another question means you're asking LLM to apply for a 2 days leave. Okay. And then LLM will go through documents to see means what is the leave policy, and then it will call another tool. It will call some API to insert that particular record into a database to apply for a 2 days leaves. and then that database will give you information back. Okay, that 2 days leaves has been saved in a database, and then you API will return back the result to a LLM, and LLM will respond back to as answer means okay, your 2 days leaves has been applied. Okay. So in first case, we were doing a question and answer. In second case, we are simply doing a task execution. Okay. Now, consider scenario where you want to onboard some intern or you want to onboard a student in a university. Okay. And that particular student will be joining or that particular employee or intern will be joining next Monday. So this means there will be a one task where you want to schedule a welcome meeting. You want to send an email to a particular student or intern for as a welcome email. Okay. Then you want to create a profile of a particular student or intern in a HR management system or your university management system. So you have to access a particular database. Again, you require a LLM over there, which will call a particular API and then insert a record into a particular HR or a university management system. Okay. Then there will be some IT help desk activities also involved where you require a Wi-Fi credential. So you have to send the emails, you require a Teams access. Okay. So there will be different IT help desk activities involved when an intern joins a company. So in that case, means you require access to a Teams, you require access to Outlook, you require access to a Wi-Fi or other systems. So again, you require LLM over there. And then there will be some physical activities also involved where you have to order a laptop or you want to print a ID card or you want to order ID card. Okay, again, there will be different systems available. So these are the different activities which has to be done for onboarding a particular student or particular intern into a system. Okay. You can perform these activities in a sequence also, parallelly also in different orders also. But ultimately you have to perform these activities. Okay. So when you have a one goal along with the particular activities, okay, you want to onboard a particular intern or you want to onboard a student. Okay. If you have some goal defined in a system, okay, you want to onboard, and then you have different activities, and then you have a LLM also involved over there. The whole system where you can autonomously take decisions also, that will be a agent. Okay. So you have a goal, you have a LLM will be doing a planning, it will be observing different systems or tools available, different activities it has to perform based on the activities, whether those tools are available or not. So based on that, it will take a decisions and it will perform all those activities. So any questions means what are the AI agents? Then we'll start with the automation. So I'm going through a little theory and then we'll go to a practical where we'll create agents.
Is everything okay? I cannot hear you anymore.
Hello, is it audible? I don't know.
It should be
When
working
I'm
now.
changing the screen, so it's automating me. Okay. So any questions till me? So we have covered agents. So I will cover automation and then we'll go back to our agents. Right. So the rise of agentic AI means how AI agents will evolve means when we want a system means we were having a LLM now means models were there where we have intelligence equivalent to human were already available through our LLMs. We were able to questions through a chat GPT and we were getting a lot of information through a chat GPT. But again, chat GPT was not doing your work. Okay. It was not able to send an email on your behalf or it was not able to schedule a meeting on a calendar. Okay. So you require one system which will perform all those activities also. Okay. Then we come up with the function calling or we call it tools. So that's another system which were evolved function calling, where you can now do some activities also. You can execute some tasks also. But again, in that case, you have to call a particular tool. LLM was supposed to call a particular tool and do activity. Okay. And the same you can do through automation also, where you can create any flow or automation flow where you can perform all those activities. So then what's the difference between automation and AI agent? Okay. So autonomy is different from automation. Autonomy means you can take a decision of your own. You have a goal and you have a complete freedom to take decisions based on the activity you have to perform. But automation means you're predefining some steps. You're predefining some steps that can be executed either sequentially or parallelly or through different conditions. Okay. But autonomy or agency means you can decide those steps, whether you have to perform a particular step or not. You can decide based on your goal. So automation, you have predefined fixed steps, but in agent, you are dynamic, flexible, and capable of reasoning. So if you see this particular workflow means you have one workflow where you have predefined the nodes, and those nodes will be doing either some activity or they are taking some decision based on if and else loop or a while loop. Okay. So these type of workflows are called automation, where you want to send an email. So you want to call your Gmail and you want to send some email through some predefined steps. So that will be a automation. But agent means in case of an agent, you're only assigning a different tools to an agent, and then agent will decide whether it has to send an email or it has to schedule a meeting in a calendar or it has to uh, do some other activity. So in case of an agent, it will decide of its own whether it has to perform those steps or not. Okay. So I will skip this one. Now we'll build some automations using N8 and IO, and then we'll build some agents also using N8 and IO. So this is N8 and interface. So if you open any N8 and when you sign in, after registering, it will give you a workspace, and you have to register. You have to sign into your workspace, and then you can click a create button, and then you can create a workflow from scratch. Okay. So I'm using my own environment. This is my own N8 environment where I'm using a Docker image and I can create any workflow. So I will be showing some existing workflow. So if you see this particular workflow, I have a trigger over here. So whenever you want to create any workflow, so you have different nodes available. Okay. So first one is adding a trigger. So the trigger can be you want to trigger it manually, or you want to trigger on base of a schedule, or you want to trigger on base of some webhook or a API call, or you want to trigger on base of a chat. Okay. So here I am using a on schedule trigger where I want to trigger 8 a.m. every morning, means I want to execute this particular workflow. Okay. And then what I'm doing, I'm getting all the emails. So what I have added a task where I want to get all my emails. Okay. So you have to add your environment. So you have to add your account over here. And then I'm formatting those emails. Then I'm using a Mistral API. So here I'm using just a LLM. I'm not using an agent. I'm using a LLM to get all the emails, to create a summary of our emails. And then finally, I'm sending the summary email to myself. Okay. So this is a complete workflow. I will not try to create that workflow from scratch. So first you have to call on a schedule. So you can tell me what will be a schedule. So we'll schedule 8 a.m. in the morning. Then I want to read all my emails. So you have to go to Gmail. And I want to read all my emails. So you get many messages. So this will be get many messages. You can give a limit, that limit you want to read. And you can provide a filter also. You can provide any criteria also. For example, you want to get emails only for a particular date, before date. So you can receive after receive before. So you can give that particular date also over here. Okay, and you can give, you can use variable also for a today. And then you have to provide your credentials. So you can create a new credential and you can use a OAuth. In case of OAuth, when you want to use it, you have to provide all your credentials over here. And then you can sign in. Once you will sign in, that particular account will be available. And then if you see in a particular workflow, we were formatting that particular email. So this is a code block. So you can have a code block over here where you have a particular function JavaScript code you want to execute. Okay, so you want to get a header and then you want to get a footer and then you want to format that particular email. So this way you can create your own complete workflow the way you want to add different nodes. And this is a automation. This is not a agent. So in this particular workflow, if I want to use any AI component also, for example, I want to use a Google Gemini, you can add that Google Gemini also over here. Or you want to use Anthropic or any model you want to use, you can add that particular model over here. So for example, if I'm using a Mistral over here, you can add Mistral tool over here. And then you can assign that particular tool over here. Okay. So now I will show me how a particular workflow will work. If you want to execute a particular step, you can execute a step, single step. This step has been completed. Then I want to read my emails, so you can execute this particular step also. You can see all the emails over here. All 20 emails means we have given 20 emails, so you will get see all the emails over here. Right? Now you want to format those emails. So you want to get a header because if you see over here, we have a header and then that HTML. From HTML, you will not come to know the actual message. Okay. So we want to format that. So now we formatted everything and we are getting an array. And now we'll execute this particular step where we want a model to decide which particular email is important, and then it will create a summary of all the emails. So LLM will be used to prioritize those emails and then create a summary of all the emails. So right now we have an array of all these emails. So I'm getting error over here. This email JSON is not working. So what I will do, I will remove this. And this is the email array I will drag over here. Now it should work. Okay, it's adding this. Now you can see we got a summary. There's a single element and where we have a summary of all the emails. and then finally you can send email. So this is a complete workflow where we use LLM, but as a part of a automation workflow, not as a part of a AI agent, right?
Yes.
Now we'll create again, we'll use a init and again, but we'll use a AI agent over there. We'll go to plus sign to create a new workflow. So here I want to use a chat message. So this will be a triggering point. I want to chat. And now in a AI, I want to use a AI agent. So if you remember, Miss, I told you, Miss, we have a three major components for a AI agent. First one was a chat model. Second was a memory, and third was a tool, right? And you're getting all these three nodes. So you can add a model, any model. So we'll use Mistral again. So I already saved my Mistral API key in this. So that's why, Miss, I'm not getting any error over here. So I told you, Miss, you can use any simple memory, or you can use a short-term or a long-term memory, right? So we'll use simple memory, but if you see here, we have a long-term memory also where you can store your memory into a MongoDB, or you can store in a Postgres database also. You can use your Redis chat memory also. So you can have a long-term, medium level, or a short-term memory. So we'll use a simple memory. Okay. And third, you can have any tools, right? So we'll add a calculator tool for time being to just test. So this is a AI agent in a automation. So you are calling an agent from an automation. Okay. Now you want to test this complete agent. So because we have added a chat, so you will get a chat interface over here. So you can I am just giving a question over here and I'm executing. See, it went to a AI agent and then it went to a model and then memory. It has not called calculator tool, right? The reason means it's a simple calculation where means you don't require a calculation tool. Even LLM decides itself, means it will not call a tool, it will give answer itself. So it's up to a LLM to decide whether it has to go through a particular tool or not. So if you will add another tool over here, for example, Gmail. So this is send one. Okay, we'll use this one. I'm simply adding this particular dummy message. Okay. Now we'll again chat, then email. Again, it's not calling a tool, so we'll try to execute this step. 1 second. Email has been sent. I don't know why it's not calling this Gmail tool. It should send a message using a Gmail. Oh, my account is not properly set up. That's why it's giving an error over here. So I'm not having the send permissions. So that's why it's not sending email through this particular tool. Somehow it's not calling tools. Second. Here it's called a calculator tool, right? That time we given a complex problem. Now it's calling a calculator over here. And you can see through a logs what happened to a memory. Then it went through a LLM, and then it go through a calculator. Then it again came back to a LLM, again stored that particular result into a memory, and then it given us a result back. Right? So it called LLM 2 times, it called memory 2 times because there was a complex question. You have to do a sum, then multiply, then divide. It has to maintain those states in a memory, right? It was resolving one problem. It was maintaining it into a memory and then going back to LLM, doing another calculation and then third calculation. So any question related to how we can create a AI agents in a N8N?
So I have a question.
Yeah, Mika.
Uh, if we ask the same question again, like sum of 4 and 5, then multiply by 6, will it take it directly from the memory and give me the answer?
We'll try. Again, it's LLM has to decide whether it will go through a memory or not. So it's again going through a tool only.
Okay. So that LLM decides how it has to do.
Because we are using a simple memory, we are using a short memory, we are not using a long memory. So for each session, it maintains a memory. If it
Okay.
will be a long term, then it will maintain for a long. Then every time means whenever we are chatting, we are maintaining a new session. And I will confirm you that also. If you see means whenever I'm doing a chat, it's meant creating this session ID, right?
Yeah.
So for this, there will be a separate session ID.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Thanks, Deepak.
So means we build agents in Nanit and where we use the LLM, we use prompt, and then we use memory and tools, right? I can show you a complex agents also which you can create. And there are other tools also available in the market which you can use for creating these automations and agents. So we have a Power Automate, which is a product from a Microsoft. This product belongs to my team. And then we have a make.com, and then we have a JPR also, which you can use to uh, create different type of automations as well as agents. So this is a JPR. So where you can create the same type of tools. And this is a make.com. And this is my company's tool Power Automate. So here you can do a chat. Through a chat also, you can give a complete prompt and it will build a complete end-to-end agent for you. Okay. So for example, So if you can see means Power Automate is now working on it. It will create an end-to-end workflow for you without doing anything, right? So it's the same trigger. We have a schedule. Then it is reading my email. Okay, it's initializing that variable. We were having that code loop, right? Then it's calling creating a summary, and then sending an email. So Power Automate you can use to directly create agents by using a prompt. In N8 and in make.com or JPI, you have to drag and drop all those nodes if you want to create a workflow, right? Now there is another AI agent builder available from a ChatGPT or OpenAI also, where you can use a prompt to build a workflow like the same way you are building to a Power Automate. So the AI agent node, which we were seeing over here, this particular AI agent node is using a LangChain library in the background. So N8 and uses a LangChain agents in the background. Okay. And the agent they use is called conversational agent. And we can create a agents using a LangChain also, which means by doing a coding, you can create your own agents, whether you want to use a Python or a JavaScript or a TypeScript. You can use any of these languages and you can create agents from a scratch. Okay. So when you want to create agents from a scratch, again, you have to provide a prompt. You have to provide your LLM memory, different tools. And if you want to provide any execute strategy, you can provide that execute strategy also through custom prompts. Okay. So what's a LangChain? LangChain is actually a complete open source platform for agent engineering or building an agent. So it provides a complete product suite for every step of agent development, from a deployment to a design to a deployment. The complete life cycle you have available in a LangChain. And LangChain has different products like a LangChain, LangGraph, or LangSmith. LangChain and LangGraph are used for building our agents, and LangSmith is used mostly for observation, tooling, or monitoring. So LangChain platform you can use for a text splitters, you can use for interacting with different type of vectors, so for example, Pinecone or a FISS or a ChromaDB. You can use it for a document loaders if you want to read data from a PDF or a JSON or a CSV file or a TXT document or website. It provides output parsers also, where means you can parse your data from one format to other format. It provides all the tools you can create. So it provides a simple basic tools and then structured tools. It provides a framework for interacting with different type of models, whether you want to use Anthropic or a Gemini or a OpenAI or a Mistral. It provides all those model frameworks. Then you can create different type of agents also, and then it provides different type of example selectors also. So it's end-to-end framework you can use for a RAG implementation, for a model tuning, for a agent development. The way we were seeing the agent in a N8, and which is again a visual implementation of a LangChain agent only. So you have a model over here, you have a memory. That memory can be a long term or a short term. Then you have tools. So this is a simple code, the way we can create a tool. So I will give you end-to-end example how we can write a tools also. So you can create any number of tools. So it's an array, you can give any tools. And these are different. This is LangChain.agents is a library which you can use to create a React agent, create a tool calling agent or an initialize agent, and then it's having an agent executor. LangChain.tools library gives you all the tools you want to use, whether it's a structured tool or a simple tool. And LangChain.memory will give you a memory you want to use. It provides both buffer memory, which is just short term. It provides you a SQL Server or a SQLite, all those memories also. So if you want to simply create a React agent, then you can give a LLM tools and prompt, and then you can use an agent executor to execute that particular agent. And this is a tool calling. So we go through all these codes again. And this is a way you can create a memory, and then you can assign that memory to a agent. So have you used the Python notebook earlier?
Yeah.
So this is a Python notebook. Okay, so I have a step-by-step instructions. First, we are simply installing all the packages we require for implementing a LangChain agent. So I'm using a Mistral. So I'm using a LangChain Mistral API over there. Python dot environment because we want to read a Mistral API key. So we require that particular package. Get pass will be to read that particular environment variable and then LangChain library. So we'll create a virtual environment. So here you will see the complete life cycle. I was explaining there is a loop called where means we have think, observe, and act, right? So when we will create this particular agent and when we will invoke a agent, you will see the complete life cycle over here. So now we are simply reading environment variables. We are getting a Mistral API key from environment variable. That key has been loaded now. Now I'm creating a LLM. So I'm using a chat Mistral AI. So I'm creating a LLM using that particular API key and I'm giving a model. So I'm using a Mistral medium model over here. Okay. The way we were assigning a model in an agent, so I'm getting the same model over here now using a code. Then we were assigning a different tools to our agent, right? So we are getting we are simply defining our tools. So here I'm creating a weather tool. I'm first creating a function for a weather tool, and then I'm assigning that particular function to a tool array. So I'm giving a name over here. I'm giving a description and giving that particular function, get weather function over here. So this is a tool. So first tool, then we are doing a calculation. So we are defining another tool like this. Now we have to create an array of all those tools. So we have to collect all the tools we have created and we have to create an array. And then I'm initializing an agent over here. So I'm giving all the tools. I'm giving a LLM. Okay. And I'm not using a memory right now. So I'm just using a tools and model. So I'm telling the type of the agent I want to use. I'm giving a verbose equal to true, which means I want to print all the debug statements also. If there will be any error, I want to handle those errors also. And then I want to have a maximum iterations of a two. This maximum iteration means it will go through that particular loop of a think, observe, and act only 2 times. So here we have simply initialized our agent. We have not called our agent. Okay. Now I will run my agent. So this is a agent.run. I'm giving a particular query over here. What's the weather in San Francisco? I'm giving another query over here where I want to use a calculation. And then I'm giving a third query means what's the weather in the Tokyo and should I bring an umbrella or not? Check it's again going to a think, observation, act, right? It's going through a think and observation. This is a complete life cycle is going through, right? So there was a thought usually asking for a weather in San Francisco. So it decided, okay, it has to call a weather tool. It given a particular input to a weather tool, which is a city. And then there was observation means this will be a weather and umbrella required. And this is a final answer. Okay. Then there was another question. User asked for a calculation. Okay. So it has to call a particular tool. So it decided it has to call this particular tool. This will be your input. And this is your observation. And then it's giving you a final answer. So if we'll increase this particular iteration to 4, for example, and we'll simply execute one scenario. So it's going through only single cycle because it's a simple question. So it was going through a single cycle. And we'll try to run this one. So again, it's going through a single cycle only. It's a simple scenario, so it's going through a single like cycle, but sometimes it go through a multiple cycles also. So depending on your implementation. Now, we want to add a memory also, so you can add conversation buffer memory, or you can use any other memory also. So you can add a SQL memory also, or you can use MySQL or a PostgreSQL SQL or a SQLite. So you can use any database over here, and we are giving that particular memory over here. That's the only change. Okay. Second change, if you see here, we were having agent type was 0 short React. So it was simply React. React is act. Reasoning plus act is a React agent. It will reason and then it will act. Here it will go through a conversation. You can have a multiple questions. This is your first question and then there's a follow-up. So in this case, you want to have a conversation. So it will maintain that particular session over here. See, first loop and this is second loop, right? Same thought. Do I need to use a tool? Yes. Do I need to use a tool again? No. Action weather tool London. Secondly, no need to use a tool. Directly it's giving you a final answer. Then there was another question. And it will reply accordingly. So any questions how we are implementing LangChain agents?
So the way that I'm seeing it, LangChain agents looks a little bit more like a chatbot, so like the
No, it's not.
traditional way
It's
that
not
we.
chatbot. So if you are getting confused, I have an example also where I can show you. Means it's not a chatbot.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is a simple
Me,
chatbot. Okay.
right. The way that we are approaching it kind of looks like making a chatbot, but I know that there are more to it than just
See,
a typical
I was
chatbot.
implementing simple. I was implementing agent as a part of a chat interface. Okay.
Right.
But you can
Right.
implement agents. The means it can be a chatbot also. It can be autonomous also. It can be independent also. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are confused, means then I have a lot of examples. Means this is a simple LLM answer only. Means where you have defined one particular question and you are giving the answer. Okay, this is simple chatbot question. So here, if you want to call a LLM, then here means we are telling how we can create an agent. So I'm explaining a process over how you can create your own agent. Then you want to define the process. Okay, it will understand the intent, it will plan the steps, it will execute those steps and then synthesize or consolidate that particular result. Then here I'm telling, okay, how you can create a mock tools. Simply create a one definition over here, and I'm creating these mock tools. This is class. Okay. Now you want to call those tools. Here I'm hard coding all those tools. Okay, you will call this particular tool, you will call this particular tool. Okay. Now here means I'm assigning all those tools in the dictionary. Here we were calling all those tools one by one. Now here you want to give a dictionary and you want to assign the dictionary, and from dictionary you want to call those tools. So this is again means manual way of implementing an agent. Means here I was hard coding everything, but I was explaining the process means how you can mock an agent, right? Now there's another
Right.
concept called function call. Also, I have not explained you what is function call, but there is a if you simply want to call a tools, if you seen that particular example means where first was an example means where we were having question and answer, right? Second was example where means we were doing some executing some task. That's a function calling. So that's another example which we can use. So this is here means I'm simply initializing a Mr. AI. It's the same means we are getting a key. See here I'm creating a Mr. Client and I'm defining a function and I'm creating a tool, right? Here I'm simply calling a chat. Client.chat.complete. I'm giving a model, I'm giving a messages, and I'm giving a tool, right? This is a prompt. This is a tool auto choice. So here it's calling a tool, executing a tool, and giving you answer over here. Okay.
I
Your
see.
location was Seattle. It has to call this particular tool. So this is a function call. This is not an agent, right? You call that particular
Right.
tool, you give an argument, and it will give you a output. Okay. And then means if you want, you can pass that particular tool. Means it will be this particular tool call will be like this. This is how they have implemented agents. So function calling, LLM, and agents, all three are different systems. Okay. Even if you want to see advanced implementation also, I can show you advanced implementation also. So we have different type of agents available in a LangChain. So there is a one function called create tool calling agent. So in this case, it will be only calling a tools, the example which I given you. Okay.
I see. So we can even call what kind of LLMs we're using too.
Yes. LLM you have to provide every time. So here you're providing a LLM tools and then you're providing a conversational prompt, which we were giving earlier also, right?
Mm.
Then here means we are using a memory also. So you're providing a memory also to an agent executor. So you're creating a function calling tool and then you are using it. Okay. Then secondly means you can now provide you can initialize an agent and you can provide a type of agent you want to use. This example we have used in previous one. Okay. Then third, you want to use a structured tool. So structured tool means in this case, you have to provide a type of a fields also, which means the argument you want to provide. So you are providing a two arguments A and B, and those should be an integer and those should be a numbers, and you're providing a descriptive details over here, right? Then here you are providing a calculator, you are providing a int, B int, and then operation should be a string. So when you're defining a type of input parameters also to a function, that's called structured tools, and that's called a structured tooling. Okay.
Okay.
And so we can create these different type of tools using LangChain. So I have a detailed documentation also available. You can go through that.
This is a wonderful resource that you got there, Deepak. Just one question. How can we access to this tutorial?
I will share. I have a GitHub repo. I will share that with you. Okay. So
Very
then
much
we
appreciated.
then we have different design patterns also, which I'm not covering over here, but we have different design patterns in the agent implementation. So this particular Python notebook covers all those design patterns. For example,
Sounds good. Very Well, thank
So
you
this
very
is a
much.
React pattern which I was explaining you reasoning and acting. This is a first pattern. Then we have a, I explained you we have a thought chain of thoughts pattern. So this is a chain of thought pattern implementation. Then we have tree of thoughts pattern implementation. Then we have goal-oriented agent pattern, feedback loop agent pattern. All are using LangChain and Mistral only. This is a tree of thoughts. This is a agent factory. So the way we have abstract factory or a factory pattern for any software development problem, the same we have an agent factory pattern also available. Then if you, there is observation pattern also available over here. Observer pattern, and then if you remember means we have a layered state machine pattern, and then we have a layered architecture pattern. The way we have n layer architecture available in a software development, the same we have available over here. So all the design patterns are also means in the same means Git repo you will find.
That is very detailed.
So we covered
Once
all
again,
these things. Now coming to AI agents available within a Microsoft. So Microsoft provide you agents from a simple implementation to a advanced implementation. So there can be a simple implementation like you want to retrieve information only. Okay. For example, you want to retrieve information from a SharePoint website, or you want to retrieve information from database, or any knowledge base, or any wiki you want, or any documents you want to retrieve information. So you can create a simple retrieval based agent. Okay. Then you from a simple, then you can move to a little moderate level, means where you want to execute some tasks also, so where you can define tools. And then you want an independent autonomous goal oriented agent, so you can create those also. So simple means where you want to generate something, you want to generate a summary, image, audio, or some video, so you can use simple one. Retrieval means you want to retrieve a data from a different systems, and then you want to take actions. And these are different tools available within Microsoft. So if you want to use a simple one, you can use a M365 Copilot. Okay. And if you want for a makers, then you have a Copilot Studio. And if you want to have an advanced for a developers, then you can use a semantic kernel. By using a semantic kernel framework, it's like a LangChain. You can create up agents using a Python. And if you want to use a uh, Auto GPT, in that case, you can use a C sharp. And now we have a new framework called Microsoft AI framework, which is a merge of a semantic kernel and Auto GPT. So you can use that one also. And then we have a Azure AI agent service also available. So I will show you demos how you can use M365 also. So this is M365 Copilot. This is an app also, and you can open through a web browser also. So let's say use a browser one which you can use. So it's a simple chat. You can attach different apps. You can create a, sorry. So these are agents. You can create a new agent. Okay. And if you click all agents, we have different type of templates available. The type of agent you want to create, whether you want to create a researcher type of agent, analyst, or a prompt coach, or a career coach, or idea coach, you can use these templates also. Okay. So you can simply click this one and it will start with that. Okay. Or if you can simply use the create agent button over here, if you want to build from a scratch. Okay. So here means the way means like we were having, you can give a prompt over here and it will build an agent for you. Simply give any prompt the way we were giving in Power Automate. You can give a prompt over here and you can create an agent, or you can create an agent from different templates. Or you can use a configure tab over here and you can select again a template from here also. It's not compulsory. Now here I'm creating a new agent. You can describe your agent over here and then you can give instructions. Okay. So let's create a job agent. So I have to copy from here, or we'll start from scratch. Let's do from scratch. Okay, then we require instructions. So I will use ChatGPT, so that will get these instructions. You can copy all the instructions like this. So this will be goal, so we can modify this over here. And then we provide this complete instructions.
Wow, so you can ask AI to generate the instruction, and then
I
you
can use
feed the
a prompt. I can
instruction.
use a prompt coach agent also, which is available within this. Okay.
Mm.
Now here you can provide your knowledge source. Okay. You can provide any type of a knowledge source over here. If you see, you can provide your all the MS Office documents. You can provide your files over here. You can provide any website over here. That can be a wiki, external website, your SharePoint website or folders, or you can provide any chats also over here. Chats can be from Teams or from any other channel also. Okay. I'm not providing any knowledge source right now. Okay. And you can, whether you want a code interpreter or image generator, you can enable those. And here you can please suggest prompts also.
This is really useful information.
So this is a simple way of creating the agents. Okay. We'll copy from. We'll copy this one.
Deepak, would you be in a position to tell people about the Seattle Data AI hackathons and the benefit in participating?
Yeah, so after 5 minutes, we'll explain that also. So this is simple agent I'm creating. I'm not providing any knowledge source, right? I'm simply giving a instructions prompt and we'll click create. So this agent can be available in your Teams also. This will be available independently also. Now we'll go to agent. So I can use this particular prompt also. I will give simple prompt. So it will ask me, so we have to provide our CVs, right? So one or more CVs and it requires a job posting also, right? So what I will do, I will simply attach CVs. So I'm simply attaching 4 or 5 CVs over here. And then I will go to careers.microsoft.com. We'll simply take this first job posting. We'll copy this. It's providing you all the details, right? Whether a particular person is suitable or not. Now, one more thing. If you click over here, and I will click this one, it will create a complete page for you with all the details over here. Okay. And you can now use this page. You can create a Word document or you can create a PPT from this complete result from here itself. Okay. And you can open this data directly from a Excel. We'll ask to please generate graph. Now it generate graph based on skills set and relevance. Also. So for example, you have another chat over here. This is a new information, right? So again, you can go over here. Either you can create a new page for this information or you can add to a recent page which is already opened. So this is a new page. So it will append the complete results after that. And if you click this Copilot shortcuts, you can see all the shortcuts again from here. So this is M365. If you want to create a simple agents. And then we have a Copilot Studio. So here you can create advanced agents where you can define tools. Here you can create a one agent from another agent. Also, you can call another agent within an agent. Also, you can create a master agent, which is calling a multiple child agents. So you can create any type of agents over here. So we are not having enough time to give a complete demo, but I will show you a existing implementation which I have done. So let's start with the new one so that you will have a new agent again. So here again, you can describe over here or you can configure over here. You can give a name over here. You can describe, you can give instructions. It's the same, right? You can give a knowledge base also over here and you can give us suggested prompts. So it's the same interface which you were seeing in a M365. The only thing here you can enable a web search also. Instead of a knowledge base, it will go to a web search also. Okay. But when you click a create button over here, now you can see you can change agent model also over here. If you want to use a GPT-4 or you want to use some other model, you can change over here. Okay. Based on your licensing, you can change your model over here. Then here you have tools available where you can add all the tools. So here we have all the tools available, which you can use, whether it's Excel, Office, or any third party, which you can use. First party tools are available. We have connectors also available over here. If you want to, for example, you want to read an Outlook email, click over here. You can select whether you want to get a context, you want to send an email, you want to create a context. So you can get all type of connectors available over here. Then we have a flow also over here, which means you can call a Power Automate workflow also over here. So earlier we were creating a agent in a workflow. Now you can create a workflow within an agent. Then you can call any MCP server also over here. We have some predefined MCP servers, and then you can add your MCP server also over here. So you can click to a new tool, you can go to a MCP and you can add your MCP server over here. Okay. Or if you see, when you click a new tool, you call your REST API also over here. You can call your own custom connector also over here. You can call your computer use APIs also over here. Okay. Then here you can add another agents also over here. In that case, this will become your planner agent or a agent orchestrator, and you can have a multiple agents over here. Then we have a topics where you can define a workflows. Here you can define the complete workflow. The time a particular message will come, you can define complete workflow over here. Then we have activities where means you will see all the activities once that particular agent will be executed. You can see all the activities, all the analytics will be available over here. And these are channels, which means this particular agent will be available in our Teams or M365 or a SharePoint or any website or a web app. You can select any of these agents and you can publish them over there. So I will show you one of the existing agent, how it works also and how you can use it also. And this is my existing agent. If you see over here. So I'm reading an email also, I'm reading a calendar also, I'm updating a task also, I'm getting a to-do list also, delete list, all the list. I'm reading all the chats from a Teams also, and I'm reading the details also from a particular Teams. And then I'm calling another agent also over here. If you see, this particular agent is available over here, this one. I'm calling that particular agent within an agent. And then if we have topics over here, which we can modify. So let's, and you can test your agent over here. It's calling another agent over here. Now it's reading my calendar. So it's asking me the permission. So I have to provide permission. So it's got all the outputs. If you see all the emails it got. Again, I have to allow. Again, it's calling my agent. Again, I have to allow chats. So if you see means you will see all the emails, all the chats. You can see all the chats over here. This is for a security, means human in the loop, and this is a plan. It need all the data and it will give you summary over here, right? So this is a Copilot
Right.
Studio, and then you can, means if you want to use a frameworks, so we have this is the AI agent framework which was launched last month, and this is now clubbing both semantic kernel and AutoGPT. So this is a framework which you can use.
So Microsoft will also have their own AI agent soon. Is that what you're
We
saying?
have a means we have a semantic kernel and AutoGPT for a long time.
I see.
Now coming to means we have a so we have a AI agents. Then there's another term called agentic AI. So what's the difference between AI agent and agentic AI? So AI agent means it's a single agent which will be performing a particular task or multiple tasks. It will be having a particular implementation level scope only. But agentic AI is a complete flavor. It's complete philosophy of autonomy where you can define complete paradigm. Okay. So it's a complete framework and AI agent is a single entity. So it's like you have a class and then you have an object of a class. Then we have another term called generative AI. Generative AI is used where you want to generate something from a LLM, whether you want to generate a code or a text or an image or an audio or a video. So generative AI is always stateless, whereas agentic AI is just stateful, where you can have that state in the memory or you can maintain in the short term or long term. In generative AI, you cannot use any tools, but in case of agentic AI, you can use any. You have to use external tools, plugins. Okay. So these are the main enablers, means you require a LLM, then you require a context management where you can provide your knowledge base, you require tools, and ultimately you require a framework which you will use to build a particular agent. You can use a LangChain, Llama, or a semantic kernel or AutoGen. So these are the different frameworks available in the market.
Thank you. Hi, Deepak.
So 2 more minutes. So now we can create a agents using a MCP. Also, MCP is a protocol from Anthropic where you can create a agents in the MCP server, and that MCP server you can consume through a web application or MCP host. That can be a Cloud Code, or that can be Anthropic, or that can be a Cursor, or that can be a Windsurfer, or that can be a VS Code. So you can call those agents from a particular MCP host. And these are different type of agents you can create. So any questions?
Um, Thank you so much for your presentation,
Uh,
Deepak.
it-
So
It's
coming to our Seattle data AI and security, so we have one group called Seattle AI Data and Security. So Padma Ayla is leading that particular chapter, and that chapter was earlier for us Seattle. Now it's we have in Texas, Dallas also. We have in Atlanta also now, and where we organize hackathons also, where we organize different sessions also every month, and we try to cover AI, data, and security, all the three different pillars of computer software engineering. So you can participate, you can join AI data security. So I will share that particular link also, or you can search in the LinkedIn Seattle AI data and security. You will get a LinkedIn page also. And if you want to reach out to me, means this is my contact details, LinkedIn, GitHub, and my website. And you can contact me anytime if you want any mentorship, you need any help with the projects, you want to participate in the hackathon, and you want any idea or you want any guidance, let me know.
Thank you, Deepak. As much as we would like to ask you more questions,
Sure, go ahead.
unfortunately, we are a little bit over the time.
There was a lot of demos, so it took little more time. Sorry for that.
Yes, it's okay. We very appreciate it because all the tools that you showed us are incredible.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. Can you share the slides and the links for the tutorial with us? Is it
Yeah,
that
so
possible?
1 second, I will let you know GitHub repo. So
Thank you so much.
Deepak, all you have to do is just email me all of the presentation files,
sure,
and I can share to all the participants today.
fine. So this particular rise of AI, you can go to this particular repo and you will get this complete
Right.
or note.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for coming today. And thank you, Deepak, for presenting today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.